Hi everyone, welcome back to the Scent Advocate. I am at a hotel. I'm actually in a bathroom at the hotel we're staying at in the Boston area, and I don't think I've ever filmed an unboxing because I don't know, it never really felt like something I needed to do, but wanted to make a video tonight, and I did buy a few fragrances. I've been saving up for a while. There were some new fragrances that I really wanted to buy. I didn't want to blind buy them, so I don't have a place that sells from this house near where I live. But since we're here in Boston, I had the chance to actually sample these fragrances, wear them around for a bit, and I thought based on the notes that I would love them, and I was absolutely correct. So I ended up buying them. One other fragrance that I have, I ordered, and I had been sampling this for a while. I ordered it and it came just as we were leaving town, so we drove to Boston. And this came, I knew I would love it, and there's absolutely no question I was correct. So let me start out with the first is Barenia by Hermes, and this is an eau de parfum. Absolutely wonderful fragrance. I got this as a sample in a gift that I got for Christmas, a non-fragrance gift. And it was just amazing. So fell in love with it, absolutely had to have it. I don't have a ton of Hermes fragrances, but this one definitely fits the profile of warm weather summer fragrances that I absolutely love. It starts out punchy and floral. I don't like florals, but this quiets down into a beautiful, solar, bright, happy, I think some might call it fizzy, so there may be some aldehydes in here. Just definitely an uplifting, citrus forward fragrance. It's also very strong. I believe this is an eau de parfum. Yes, it is. And it is, let's see, how big is this fragrance bottle? Sorry, I'm just not able to see. It's 60 ml. So you get a lot, and I think I paid under 200 for this. I can't remember exactly, but absolutely gorgeous. This fits right in line with a few of the other Hermes fragrances I have. I only have a few, so it fits in line with the other fragrances I have. This is strong enough to wear during the day in the winter. It stands up to the cold. I find that the winter fragrances I wear tend to be pretty strong, but strong in a dark, heavy, cozier, more spicy, oudy direction in the winter. This is not that. This is bright, happy, sunny. I kind of imagine myself back in Utah on one of these ski mountains that we would go to. I never skied, by the way. This was too big. There's never a good time to break your leg. I mean, that was my philosophy. So for 10 years while we were there, I never skied. I kind of regret it, but again, there's never a good time to break your leg or have some kind of a serious health issue. So I never did that. Point is, if I had, this is the fragrance I would have worn, because up on those ski slopes, 9 times out of 10, it's bright, sunny, beautiful, even though you're in, very, very high levels of snow. The sun is so warming. You can actually go out there and wear a pair of shorts. I've seen people in t-shirts, it's just, the sun is so strong, and that's what I think of when I smell this fragrance. Just that bright, sunny, beautiful, but it's cold and it's okay. So Barenia by Hermes. Next, for the unboxing. That was one I took out of the box on the way from the mailbox as we were leaving home. This, before I actually open it, is Figue Érotique, and this is Tom Ford. I understand this may be exclusive right now to Sephora, and I had not been to Sephora locally to test it. So I happened to be in Boston, and I was near one, and I was able to go in and sample it. I had been saving up for some fragrances anyway, so it was a good time. And here it is. Of course, the Tom Ford boxes are always absolutely gorgeous. This is 30 ml, and here it is. So it's a smaller bottle, but in my experience, Tom Fords are so strong and impactful that this will do for a while. This will be pretty good. And here we go. Yeah, this is like no other Figue fragrance I've ever experienced, okay? This fragrance, I've heard it described as green, fresh, and creamy, and I just remember thinking, how in the world is that possible? But it is. Oh boy. If you were to get a young twig off of a tree, off of a blossoming tree, and break it, that smell, and if you were to kind of juxtapose that with the smell of a very young fig, very, very young, it doesn't have that deep, lush, purple, jammy, super sweetness to it, no way. And there's something else creamy in there. Maybe it's a sandalwood. I'm not sure, but this is, in my experience, a very unique fragrance, and that's why I went for it. It may not be completely unique. There may be something out there that's very close. I haven't experienced that, and so for me, it was worth the splurge. And yeah, it blew me away when I first tried it. I let it settle down a little bit on my skin. I tried it on paper as well, and it was just gorgeous. This is a fragrance that screams springtime to me, but honestly, you could wear this anytime. It's rich enough that if you wanted to wear it in evenings, in the cooler months of the summer, maybe early summer, late summer, that would probably be fine too. And of course, if you wanted to wear it during the day in the winter, I think this would be great. You could wear it anytime. You know, I always say, wear whatever you want, whenever you want. Just try to be conscientious of those around you, but this isn't offensive, at least not in my opinion. We're not talking about some, you know, heavy animalic, no way. So a creamy, thick, green, like, oh gosh, what do I think of? I think of one of those cricket pies from ages ago. It looked like some kind of green pistachio cream pie, but this doesn't smell like pistachio. There may be a hint, actually, of some kind of nut in here. It's rich and comforting. Maybe a little bit of pandan in there. Let me know what you think. If you tried this, what are you getting from it? I think it's really unusual. Definitely not like any fig I've ever tried. If you're not a fan of fig, but you're interested in the notes that I mentioned, check this out. This is not your typical fig fragrance. In fact, if I didn't know the intent was for this to be fig, I would have a hard time discerning the fig. Now I'm looking for the young fig in it, and it's there, but let me know what you think in the comments. By the way, if you have not subscribed, please consider doing so. And let me know in the comments what you think of Tom Ford's Figue Érotique. Moving on. Amber Intrigue, also by Tom Ford. So just to let you know, this is a Tom Ford heavy shopping experience I had today. And like I said, I saved up for this, and I got some money for Christmas presents and stuff. So, you know, not a thoughtless shopping spree for me by any means. I haven't really done anything like this in quite some time, maybe in excess of a year. Yeah, probably about a year. Okay, so Amber Intrigue. This is 50 mil. Of course, the box, very, very high quality. And here it is. There we go. Now this I tried, and I also found it to be relatively unusual. Now I love ambers, especially this time of year, but I wasn't too sure about this because I did some research on other folks who tried it. They liked it, but they didn't seem to think, for the most part, the comments that I read, that it was worth the splurge, right? Because we all know Tom Ford is not inexpensive. You're not getting it for a bargain. At least I didn't get these for a bargain, and these are newer fragrances. So yeah, this is quintessential Tom Ford heavy winter unisex, you know, power punch fragrance. It's heavy. It is not all that unusual. I have smelled others like it, but not exactly like it. Like I really don't like to buy fragrances that I think are similar to what I've already got in my collection, and this really is not. This is an amber, and I do have ambers, but it's a brighter amber. If you like Fuma Bene, you'll like this. If you like myrrh, the myrrh, I think it's myrrh something or other, I can't remember, I have it at home. The Tom Ford myrrh, you'll like this. They're not the same, not even close. But that Tom Ford DNA, that kind of smoky, resinous thing going on, it's in here. Very, very nice. It's got some vanilla. I would say this is a smoky vanilla amber, and it smells really good on paper, but on my skin, it came off as a little more floral. And I don't like florals, but something about this came off as, maybe floral isn't the right word, pretty and delicate. Yeah, pretty and delicate. And Tom Fords that I have, for the most part, are not pretty and delicate. They're wonderful and amazing, and that's why I have them. But pretty and delicate is not how I describe them. So this is a bold new offering from Tom Ford. If you like Fuma Bene, then you'll like this. I hope I'm saying it right. By the way, if you haven't noticed, my pronunciations of Tom Ford and any fragrance that has any sort of a French bent is just terrible. So, Amber Intrigue, do I think it's worth the splurge? Yeah, I do. Check it out. If you have, let me know what you think in the comments below. Moving on, Oud Voyager. Yeah. This one, I was on the fence a little bit longer. After I tried it on paper, I was like, no. Ouds can be funny. And in my opinion, they can be funny because they are seldom true to the oud fundamentals as I understand them. They can be harsh, they can be a little bit barnyardy, they can be too strong. And there's one in particular from another house that I'm on the fence with. I've been sampling it for a while. It's Oud Zarian, sorry, by Creed. Really love it. I almost bought it, but I'm still not sure. This one, I liked it on paper, sort of, but I walked away because it just didn't grab me on the paper. When I put it on my skin and I walked away for a while, 30 plus minutes, this turned powdery soft, and not in a typical orris butter way. This just got beautiful, like a billowy, powdery, dreamy puff of seriousness. That sounds crazy, but there's a serious backbone to this, but it's in a cloud of warm, fuzzy, comforting, cool, warm and cool together. You ever get on an airplane and you're bundled up, but that cold air is coming down and you feel cool on the outside, but warm and toasty underneath, your jacket or whatever? It's that kind of sensation. And it's just so damn pretty. And that's not something I frequently say about a fragrance that's got oud in the name, but this is. And the really interesting thing about this that I wanted to point out is it smelled considerably different on paper than it did on my skin. Again, on my skin, it really got powdery and pretty and feminine. On paper, it was more masculine for sure. So check out Oud Voyager. I would not suggest blind buying any of these, by the way, and I'm so glad I didn't. I really wanted the experience of trying them and knowing I made the right choice. When I've blind bought in the past, they've usually gone well, but there were a few times when I started out really regretting. And so for 30 to 60 minutes, I really, there were a few where I was just kicking myself, like, why did I do that? That was irresponsible, And so I went out of my way to avoid doing that here, and I'm really glad because this was a pleasurable experience right from the beginning. And certainly these are all unnecessary purchases in life, but if you're going to do it, if you're going to treat yourself, I think having a regret-free experience is the way to go. And so testing these is probably the smart choice, especially this one, because it, in my opinion, performed very, very different on paper than it did on my skin. Okay, Oud Voyager by Tom Ford. Last but not least is Black Lacquer. This has been around for a while, at least several months. I tried this on a piece of paper in a retailer months ago, not long after it first came out. And I was so disappointed. And it made me think of something I had in my collection. I want to say it was ridiculous. It was Baby Cat. And I just remember thinking, this is Baby Cat. Tom Ford came out with a version of Baby Cat. Well, I'm shopping today. Hold on. And the sales associate tells me, you gotta try Black Lacquer. And I was like, no, I tried Black Lacquer. It's nice, I like it. I've got too many that smell just like it. And she's like, really? I've never heard that. And I was like, yeah, really. And she said, try it again, just see. And I think she was thinking I was thinking of another fragrance. I'm so glad she pressured me to try this again, because it smells absolutely nothing like Baby Cat. And I had my daughter with me in the store when I tried this, and she called it out. She's like, oh no, it smells like church incense. And I was like, what? No. So I tried it again, and indeed, it smelled like church incense. And I have a few church incense fragrances, and this is different from any I've got. This is black pepper with something green, a strong, maybe a vetiver. and then it goes right into incense. What an experience. Oh my God, this is amazing. I don't know, maybe I was having an off day when I first tried it because this is nothing, not even remotely close to Baby Cat. Maybe it was a different fragrance, and I can't think of a Tom Ford that smells like Baby Cat, and it was definitely a Tom Ford that I tried. And I don't know what happened. Maybe, I don't know, maybe there was just, maybe I was getting sick, who the heck knows, but this is not even close to Baby Cat, in my opinion. If anyone else has had the experience of smelling black lacquer and you got Baby Cat, let me know. Were you sick? Were you, I don't know, was something weird that day? Maybe I had smelled too many fragrances, one right after the other, and this was among the last, and it came off as Baby Cat. Who knows? This is not like Baby Cat. Again, very strong black pepper. Think Poivre by Le Labo, black pepper, only more, okay? And then that, it's gotta be a vetiver, or maybe it's a mix of strong black pepper and a little bit of green pepper, I'm not sure. And then church incense, and this is amazing. So this definitely leans masculine. This is definitely a colder weather fragrance, but I don't care. This is super cozy. I would wear this to sleep in. I would wear this to go out to a formal event. What a fragrance, wow. Gorgeous stuff, black lacquer, Eau de Parfum by Tom Ford. So have you tried these? If you have, what do you think? Are you as excited about them as I am? Did any of them take you by surprise? Did you ever have an experience where it starts out one way and goes in a completely different direction? Let me know. Again, please understand, I saved up for these. I got some Christmas present money, and this was something I had been wanting to do for a while. It was something for me. There was something of a milestone that I was trying to achieve on a personal level, something completely unrelated to fragrance, and so this was something of a celebration too. So please don't go thinking I make a habit of doing this. I definitely do not. There's nothing wrong with doing them one at a time. I just happen to be in a position to be able to do this right now. So those of you who've watched me in the past know that this is not a regular thing for me. So please don't go thinking I support, these binge buys. I definitely do not. I cannot afford it. But let me know what you think of the fragrances. Once again, please like, and if you're not a subscriber, please consider subscribing. I'm trying to post more regularly now. Typically not in a hotel bathroom, but I just had to let you know about these great fragrances in case you were thinking about buying them. A normal non-perfumer's take, a normal person, non-perfumer take on these fragrances, and if it's worth anything to you, let me know in the comments. Thank you so much, and hey, see you next time. Bye.